In the cosmic dance between fame and family, some stars aren't just blessed, they're chosen. These legendary black icons have welcomed twins and triplets into their worlds, turning their households into stories of double joy and triple miracles. From timeless legends of the 60s to today's global superstars, these families share a rare gift: children whose hearts entered the world already connected. In this video, we're revealing 15 black celebrities who were blessed with multiples, and trust me, the surprises are unforgettable. Stay with us until the end to discover which superstar secretly has triplets and which celebrity stunned fans by welcoming two sets of twins. From the oldest trailblazers to the youngest stars, here are the remarkable parents of twins and triplets. 15. Nat King Cole. In 1961, as Nat King Cole's velvet voice floated through concert halls and living rooms across the world, two new melodies quietly entered his life: his twin daughters, Casey and Timbaland. Born at the very height of their father's legendary career, the twins were only 3 years old when tragedy struck. Nat King Cole, the man whose voice defined an era, died of lung cancer at just 45. Their mother, Mariah, herself a gifted jazz singer, refused to let grief break their home. With unwavering strength, she raised all 5 Cole children alone, guiding them with grace and resilience until her own passing in 2012 at age 89 from stomach cancer. Many assumed the children of such a musical icon would step into the spotlight and continue the Cole legacy on stage. But Casey and Timbaland chose a quieter, unexpected path. Though music filled their childhood, it was the world behind the curtain that called to them. Casey, armed with degrees in French and international relations, became a master of the business side of music, managing royalties and preserving the legacy of artists, including her father's. Timbaland, a journalism graduate, carved out her place in public relations, shaping stories and elevating voices in the industry. Their greatest harmony came in 2008, when the twins joined forces to create Nat King Cole Generation Hope Incorporated, a nonprofit devoted to bringing music education to underserved children. In this way, they honored their father not by singing his songs, but by ensuring new ones would be written. Today, both women are mothers themselves. Timbaland has 2 sons, while Casey's son, Wyatt Cole, has carved his own path to greatness, playing in the NFL for the Miami Dolphins. Their lives prove that a legacy can live on in many forms, not just through music, but through purpose, service, and strength. Malcolm X and Betty Shabazz. These next twins never had the chance to meet their legendary father. In September 1965, just 7 months after the assassination of Malcolm X, his twin daughters, Malik and Malikika Shabazz, entered a world still trembling from the shock of his death. Their names, chosen by their mother, Betty Shabazz, in honor of Malcolm's Arabic name, Malik, became a living tribute, a gentle reminder of the towering man they would grow up, knowing only through stories, photographs, and the echoes of a movement he helped ignite. Betty Shabazz, a woman of formidable strength, resilience, and intellect, suddenly found herself raising 6 daughters alone. She bore her own grief while shielding her children from a world that both worshipped and weaponized their father's legacy. How do you raise children under the shadow of a man whose impact reshaped history? How do those children find their voices when their family name already fills entire chapters of civil rights textbooks? Malik pursued the path of biochemistry, quiet, exact, and far from public activism. Malika studied architecture, drawn to the principles of structure, foundation, and rebuilding. Yet, both choices revealed reflections of their parents' values. Malika went on to create a mentorship program for African students, mirroring her mother's deep commitment to education and her father's fight for global Black empowerment. Their lives became proof that continuation doesn't always roar. Sometimes it speaks softly. Malik would occasionally step into the public eye, expressing the painful truth that things wouldn't be this bad if he was still alive, a sentiment anchored in loss and longing. And in 2021, when Malikika passed away just days after two men convicted of Malcolm X's assassination were exonerated, history delivered one final painful echo, a reminder of how profoundly one man's life and death shaped generations. 13. Steve Harvey. In August 1982, at a time when Steve Harvey was still an ambitious insurance salesman, moonlighting as a rookie comedian, life handed him a double dose of joy, the birth of his twin daughters, Brandy and Carey. Steve was still chasing dreams, performing in tiny clubs for spare dollars, unaware that one $50 stand-up prize would soon change his entire destiny. That single win pushed him to quit his job and pursue comedy full-time, a leap of faith that would eventually make him a household name, but also take him away from home for long stretches during those precious early years. For Brandy and Carey, childhood came with a unique challenge, a father whose meteoric rise required sacrifice, long nights, and endless miles on the road. Steve has since spoken openly about this chapter, the regret, the missed moments, and the promise he made to himself to rebuild and reconnect with his daughters once he found steady ground. It's a rare vulnerability in a man known for laughter. Their adult lives reflect both independence and legacy. In 2015, Steve proudly walked Carey down the aisle as she married Raymond, a man she met through the Steve Harvey mentoring program for young men, a full-circle symbol of how family, faith, and service intersected in their lives. Carey later entered the financial services industry, building a quiet but meaningful career grounded in stability and purpose. Brandy, on the other hand, carved out a vibrant, multifaceted identity. She's an author, a podcast host, and a dedicated fitness influencer who once placed second in an NPC bodybuilding competition. Through her brand Beyond Her, she champions women's wellness, encouraging thousands to reclaim their health and self-worth. She also plays a pivotal role in shaping her father's philanthropic vision as the executive director of the Steve and Marjorie Harvey Foundation. Together, Brandy and Carey's journey is one of reconciliation, evolution, and unbreakable family ties. Their story proves that even when fame creates fractures, love, grounded in honesty and renewed commitment, can repair what distance once threatened to sever. 2. Robert De Niro. The world has long revered Robert De Niro as a cinematic giant, a man whose intensity, precision, and artistry reshaped modern film. And into that extraordinary legacy, in 1995, came his twin sons Julian Henry and Aaron Kendrick, born via surrogate during his relationship with model Tukey Smith. Their arrival was intentionally quiet, shielded from the glare that so often consumes the children of Hollywood royalty. De Niro's approach to fatherhood was simple yet profound. Give your children the freedom to become who they are, no pressure to chase fame, no expectation to mirror his legendary path, only support wherever their journeys led. That openness shaped two very different destinies. Julian, the more public of the twins, stepped confidently toward the arts. He appeared on Broadway, worked in film production, and even portrayed a young Barack Obama in a Showtime series. Yet, his brilliance extended far beyond performance. At NYU, he pursued a double major in computer science and mathematics, proving he was more than just an heir to a Hollywood dynasty. He was carving a path uniquely his own. Aaron, by contrast, chose a life away from cameras, living in quiet privacy for most of his youth. But in a deeply personal and courageous moment, Aaron Kendrick De Niro came out as transgender. His father Sip's response was immediate and full of heart. "I loved and supported Aaron as my son, and now I love and support Aaron as my daughter." In that simple, powerful sentence, Robert De Niro showed the world that his greatest role may not be on screen, but as a father who leads with unconditional love. Actress Holly Robinson Peete and former NFL star Rodney Peete feature in 11th place. When Holly Robinson Peete and former NFL quarterback Rodney Peete welcomed their fraternal twins, Rodney Jr., lovingly called RJ and Ryan Elizabeth, their world exploded with double the noise, double the bottles, and double the joy. What began as a typical whirlwind of new parenthood soon shifted when an unexpected challenge arrived. At age 3, RJ was diagnosed with autism. The pediatrician's prognosis was devastating. RJ might never live independently, might never hold a job, and might struggle to communicate for the rest of his life. It was the kind of moment that could have crushed even the strongest parents. But Holly and Rodney refused to give up. Instead, Holly embraced what she humorously called her crazy mama strategy, researching non-stop, diving into therapies, and fighting for every inch of progress. Sending RJ away, as some suggested, was never an option. Their commitment became the foundation of his transformation. And transform he did. RJ defied every limitation placed on him. He earned his driver's license and, beginning in 2016, secured a job he loves as a clubhouse attendant for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He even co-authored a children's book with his mother, Charlie Makes a Splash, celebrating his connection to water and sensory joy. His twin sister, Ryan, became his fiercest advocate. She co-authored My Brother Charlie and Same But Different, Teen Life on the Autism Express, using their family's story to break stigma and educate others. She later studied music at NYU's Tisch School of the Arts and launched a vintage clothing brand that reflects her creativity. Their family's shows, For Pete's Sake and Meet the Petes, amplified autism awareness nationwide, turning their personal journey into a story of hope, resilience, and unconditional love. In 10th place is NBA legend Jason Kidd and Jumana Kidd. Their story began like a headline-worthy fairy tale. A rising journalist and TV host swept off her feet, married in 1997, after the birth of their first son, TJ soon, after came their beautiful twin daughters, Maya and Giselle, turning the young family into a picture-perfect portrait of hope. But behind the polished public image, their marriage carried cracks that would eventually split open for the world to witness. In 2001, everything changed. Jason was arrested for domestic abuse, pleaded guilty, and was ordered to attend anger management programs. The couple tried to hold the pieces together, but by 2007, the veneer shattered. Their divorce filings became a battleground of accusations, emotional cruelty, physical abuse, and years of unresolved pain. The media devoured every detail. Yet, amid the chaos, the twins remained shielded. Maya and Giselle grew quietly, far from cameras and gossip, protected fiercely by their mother. Through it all, Jumana clung to one guiding principle: never poison her children's hearts. Even in heartbreak, she refused to disrespect the father they loved. How do I hate someone my kids adore? She often wondered. Her strength became their refuge, a reminder that even when love collapses, a parent's choices can still protect innocence. Kobe Bell and Avis Pinkney. Among all the celebrities known for their big families, actor Kobe Bell stands out for an almost unbelievable reason. He is the only star on this list with 2 sets of twins. Kobe and his wife, Avis Pinkney, first welcomed their identical daughters, Gina and Sarah, who instantly filled their home with energy and laughter. Then, 5 years later in December 2008, lightning struck twice. Quinn and Eli arrived, transforming their household into a rare and lively world of double twins. Kobe jokes that the strong wave of feminine energy from 3 girls finally met its match when his son Eli entered the picture. But behind the humor lies a deeply grounded family. The son of Broadway performer Michelle Bell, Kobe grew up around entertainment yet never pushed his children into the spotlight. Avis, a psychologist and former basketball league coordinator, brought balance, discipline, and emotional depth to their family life. Their daughters flourished in their own ways. Gina became a standout collegiate beach volleyball player and president of her university's Black Student Athlete Association, while her twin Sarah Ree pursued journalism, becoming managing editor of Express magazine. Quinn, from the younger set, made her own mark with exceptional high school bowling skills, once scoring 6 perfect games. A family of talent, individuality, and extraordinary stories. 8. Michael Strahan and Gene Muggley. Michael Strahan, NFL Hall of Famer turned media powerhouse, welcomed twin daughters Sophia and Isabella with his then-wife, Gene Muggley, in October 2004. Born into the bright glow of their father's fame, the girls lived a childhood split between their mother's peaceful North Carolina farm and Michael's fast-paced New York world. Even at age 10, they were already brushing shoulders with history, interviewing Michelle Obama as part of a school project. As they grew older, Isabella stepped naturally into the spotlight. She began modeling, gracing runways with the confidence of someone destined for a public life. But just 2 months into her freshman year at the University of Southern California, everything changed. Isabella was diagnosed with medulloblastoma, a rare, aggressive brain cancer that turned her world upside down overnight. One moment she was settling into college life, the next, she was rushing into emergency brain surgery, followed by brutal rounds of radiation and chemotherapy. Through it all, the family stood firm. Sophia, her twin, became her anchor, doing schoolwork in hospital rooms just to stay close. Their bond became stronger than ever. Today, after a long fight, Isabella has returned to college, carrying a resilience far greater than her years. Number 7. Angela Bassett and Vance. Angela Bassett and Courtney B. Vance, two of Hollywood's most respected award-winning actors, first crossed paths in the early 1980s at the Yale School of Drama. Their spark didn't ignite right away, but fate had other plans. Years later, when life brought them both back to singlehood, a simple second date transformed into a connection neither could deny. They married in 1997, forming a partnership rooted in artistry, discipline, and deep affection. But the road to parenthood tested them in ways they never imagined. For 7 long years, they endured failed fertility treatments, including emotionally crushing rounds of IVF. Angela would later describe those years as some of the most heartbreaking of her life. Still, they clung to hope together. Their faith was rewarded in January 2006 when their fraternal twins, Slater Josiah and Bronwyn Golden, entered the world through surrogacy. From the beginning, creativity ran through their veins. Both children gravitated to music, rapping, playing piano, and learning guitar with a passion that mirrors their parents' dedication to craft. Slater, in particular, stepped confidently into his artistic voice. He released his debut album Journey to Forever in 2021, followed by an EP, Wholehearted, in 2022, milestones that filled Angela and Courtney with pride. A family built not easily, but beautifully. Number 6. Sean Diddy Combs and Kim Porter. Jesse James Combs and Delilah Starr Combs were born into the dazzling yet turbulent world of music mogul Diddy and beloved model Kim Porter, a world where glamour and heartbreak often lived side by side. Their arrival came just 5 months after the birth of their half-sister Chance, a revelation that deeply strained Kim and Diddy's relationship and instantly complicated the twins' family landscape. Despite the tension, the girls grew up surrounded by privilege and possibility, raised alongside Chance in an effort to create a united blended family. But in 2018, tragedy reshaped their world forever. Their mother, Kim Porter, passed away unexpectedly, leaving a void too deep for words. A close family friend stepped in to guide them through their teenage years, offering stability while their father faced mounting legal troubles. In 2024, the twins proudly graduated from high school, a milestone marked by strength, resilience, and quiet grace. Honoring their mother's legacy, Jesse and Delilah stepped confidently into the fashion world. They walked runways for Dolce & Gabbana and even launched their own brand, 1221, signaling the rise of 2 young women shaping their identities far beyond their families' headlines. In July 2007, twin brothers Cameron and Caden Boozer entered the world under circumstances more extraordinary than any basketball story. Their father, NBA All-Star Carlos Boozer, ever lived on the court. Before their birth, Their parents, Carlos and his then-wife CeCe Blackwell, faced a devastating reality. Their firstborn, Carmani, had been diagnosed with sickle cell disease. Doctors urged them to focus on managing symptoms, offering little hope beyond that. But CeCe refused to accept limits. Fueled by fierce maternal determination, she plunged into research and uncovered a possible lifeline, a bone marrow transplant. The best chance for a compatible donor, doctors said, would come from a carefully matched sibling. With that revelation, Carlos and CeCe made a life-changing decision. Through IVF, they would conceive more children, not only to grow their family, but to genetically screen embryos for a perfect match, free of sickle cell and able to save Carmani's life. And so Cameron and Caden began their journey before birth. As more than brothers, they came into the world as protectors. That invisible bond, forged in necessity and love, has followed them into adolescence. Today, they stand among the most celebrated high school basketball recruits in the nation, destined to follow their father's legacy at Duke University. Cameron, a towering 6'9" power forward, dominates with scoring, shot blocking, and commanding leadership. Caden, a 6'5" point guard, is a maestro of tempo and one of the most feared defenders in his class. Together, they are more than elite athletes. They are living proof of love, science, destiny, and brotherhood intertwined. 4. Garcelle Beauvais, the celebrated actress and TV personality, welcomed her twin sons, Jax Joseph and Jade Thomas, after a journey marked by heartbreak, determination, and unshakable hope. Their birth was nothing short of a triumph. Before holding her boys in her arms, she endured 5 grueling years of fertility challenges, including 3 painful miscarriages and 1 failed IVF cycle. When her second IVF attempt finally succeeded, it became a powerful testament to her resilience and her fierce longing to become a mother. Following her divorce from Mike Nyland, she committed herself to healthy co-parenting, vowing never to speak negatively about their father and always putting the twins' emotional well-being first. Jade Thomas has already stepped into the spotlight, embracing modeling and making his runway debut, a direct nod to his mother's own beginnings in the fashion world. Jax Joseph, however, has chosen a different path. After facing online harassment from viewers of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, he made his feelings clear. "I just want to be a normal kid." 2 twins, 2 paths, and 1 mother whose love shaped both. 3. The Cannon twins, Mariah Carey and Nick Cannon. In April 2011, Mariah Carey and Nick Cannon welcomed their fraternal twins, Moroccan Scott and Monroe, and fate added a poetic touch. The twins arrived on the couple's 3rd wedding anniversary, transforming an already meaningful day into a milestone layered with joy and symbolism. Mariah and Nick's love story had begun like a spark in the dark, a chance backstage meeting that quickly blossomed into a whirlwind romance and an unexpected wedding. Their path to parenthood, however, was far more complicated. After a long emotional journey marked by medical challenges, the arrival of their twins felt like a blessing hard won. Though the couple later divorced, they managed to build a remarkably peaceful co-parenting partnership, even amid Nick Cannon's much-discussed family dynamic as the father of 12 children with 6 different women. 2. Beyonce and Jay-Z. Global music powerhouses, Beyonce and Jay-Z welcomed their twins, Rumi and Sir Carter, in one of the most closely watched births of the decade. Their arrival came after an extraordinarily difficult pregnancy for Beyonce, who developed preeclampsia and ultimately required an emergency C-section, an ordeal she later spoke about with rare vulnerability in her documentary. From the moment she revealed her pregnancy with a record-shattering Instagram post, the world was captivated. Yet, despite the global spotlight, Beyonce and Jay-Z fiercely protected the twins' early years, choosing privacy over publicity as they navigated life at the height of their careers. Over time, Rumi has slowly stepped into the public eye. She has appeared in Beyoncé's visual projects, graced album visuals, and even joined her mother briefly on tour, hints of a budding star quietly emerging. Sir Carter, however, has remained almost completely unseen. His absence ignited controversy when Tina Knowles' ex-husband, Richard Lawson, allegedly claimed Sir was severely autistic, statements that remain unconfirmed, disputed, and widely criticized by fans. Meanwhile, their older sister Blue Ivy has already carved out history as a Grammy winner, suggesting that creativity runs deep in the Carter legacy, and that in time Rumi and Sir may craft their own extraordinary paths. 1. Usain Bolt. Closing the list are the youngest celebrity twins, born in 2017 to 8-time Olympic gold medalist and world record sprinter Usain Bolt and his partner Cassie Bennett. In true Bolt fashion, their arrival came with surprise and flair. The couple kept the pregnancy completely hidden from the public, only revealing the twins on Father's Day, a shock that instantly lit up global headlines. Their names, Thunder and Saint Leo, the latter borrowed from Usain's own middle name, continued the electrifying theme set by their big sister, Olympia Lightning Bolt, and while Usain may be the fastest man in history, he's the first to admit that parenting 3 little ones is a challenge no gold medal can prepare you for. He jokes that even he can't outrun a twin tantrum or escape the chaos of crying babies and disappearing sippy cups. Fatherhood, it turns out, is the true endurance sport. Pharrell Williams, Triplets. Pharrell Williams stands out on this list, not for the youngest children, but for something even rarer. He is the only celebrity here who welcomed triplets. The Grammy-winning music producer and fashion innovator, along with his wife, model and designer Helen Lasakin, brought home their trio of joy in 2017, instantly transforming their world into a whirlwind of baby bottles, swaddles, and sleepless nights. True to their private nature, Pharrell and Helen kept most details under wraps, but they confirmed early on that all 3 babies were healthy and thriving. Pharrell joked that their house had become a full-on assembly line, churning out tiny fedoras, funky beats, and endless diaper changes, all powered by love, teamwork, and the village required to raise 3 newborns at once. Despite their determination to shield their children from the spotlight, the triplets, along with their older brother Rocket, have occasionally made rare public appearances. Whether at fashion events or backstage gatherings, the family often turns heads with their coordinated, effortlessly stylish outfits, a reflection of the bold aesthetic Pharrell and Helen are known for. A private family, yes, but one whose chic, creative legacy is already unmistakable. Thanks for watching. Tell us in the comments which celebrity twins surprised you the most and which ones you just learned about today. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new story. More fascinating celebrity families and unbelievable facts are coming your way. Stay tuned for the next video.